And then we should get the national anthem. Well, it's been a long season, and it comes to a critical end for these two clubs here this afternoon as we take first a check on the sides. The Bolton side hit by injuries at this crucial time without Paatelainen, Snakers and Lee. But with Alan Stubbs, he's proved his fitness, returns to the defence, the captain, a real key figure there. Jason McAteer, so important in the midfield for them, where Neil McDonald now comes into the side, Owen Coyle and the top scorer John McGinlay, 22 this season, are up front. Let's have a word with the Bolton manager, Rioch.
Well, we've got a lot of work to do still, but we've had 3 great years. I mean, we've come from the 3rd division to where we are very quickly, and you know, we want to get up. It's as simple as that. We want to get up. Reading want to get up. Both clubs have had to overcome good opposition in the semi-finals, and it's quite good actually that the 2nd and 3rd place teams are actually competing for the place here.
Meantime, as we look at Reading, they've been in great form this season, particularly in these last weeks when the pressure's really been on. They're unchanged for the 6th successive time, 3 centre-backs. There was a late fitness scare over Keith McPherson. Andy Bernal and Michael Gilkes are what are termed as wing-backs these days. Simon Osborn and Mick Gooding have important roles in the midfield. And of course it's the goals of Lee Nogan and Stuart Lovell that have brought Reading here. Jimmy Quinn, the co-manager, is also, of course, one of the Reading substitutes.
I think you've got to take a yardstick off the clubs like Wimbledon that have done it in the past. They've come through all the divisions and have ended up in the Premiership, and they've stayed there. You know, that's the sort of thing that we're going to try and do ourselves, and obviously a very important game today to win.
Well, he's important as a sub with a lot of experience, but when we look at the substitutes here, look at the substitute goalkeeper for Bolton, Peter Shilton, 45 years old, and of course Wembley is Schultz's second home. Referee today, as we've already said, we've seen him, is Peter Folkes, the schoolmaster from Clacton, incidentally reaching the retirement age for referees now, 48. This will be the last game of his refereeing career. What a wonderful way to go out. David Pleat, your first reactions and your thoughts?
Well, I think Bolton, crucially, may have had more experience of the big occasion with the several of their players playing at international level and also playing here at Wembley. But Reading are the form team. They've had a magnificent run of late. They've played some good composed football all season. They're almost inseparable. I think the team that settles first, I'm sure if Reading get their composed passing together early, that will be important and ease their nerves. They're very well supported today. It's a great occasion for them, but they're inseparable. Very close game up here.
As you say, it's been a really impressive running by Reading. They've lost only 1 of their last 12. They won 5 out of the last 6 and drew that last one. Here's Mick Gooding, the number 8. I mean, he's terrifically experienced at 36 years old, but he's probably, he was saying to me the other day, this probably has been his best season on the field. He has been absolutely inspirational. And Hislop, one of the tallest goalkeepers, 6'6", 26 years old. I said, where did you learn your goalkeeping? He said, I learned from anybody who was prepared to teach me. Well, one guy he certainly, I'm sure, would have learnt from, if he could, would have been Peter Shilton, who's got plenty to impart. It's very well, Peter Shilton. Bolton, of course, have had a break on the Algarve. Reading, for their part, have been away in the sunshine in Lanzarote. just how will it swing? It's Bolton, who had such an important date here against Reading just a few weeks ago, where Jason McAteer really shone, but they lost on that occasion. When you lose at Wembley, that's often bad memories, but I can't think it would be for Reading after that occasion, because they performed so well. And it's Bolton who get us away. In the white shirts, black shorts, attacking the goal to our right. McAteer quickly there. Jimmy Phillips on the far side. Bolton at the moment playing their 57th game of the season. Reading's 53rd. They've slogged through the heat, through the cold, through the mud and through the frost. A lot of it. And now, after 10 months of effort and a few bumps like that for Andy Bernal, this is when they really have to show their freshest and their brightest form. Bernal, the right back for Reading, flicked on there by Taylor. Stubbs getting an early touch and inviting. Well, that looked to me, indeed. Stubbs turned it back to Branagan. That was a mistake, and Branagan shouldn't have picked it up. He could have cleared it with his feet, but couldn't pick it up. And in the opening minute, we have what could be a crucial moment. A free kick for Reading, 7 yards out, which means that Bolton wall must be right back on the line. Error of judgment there, David Pleat.
Yes, it was an error. I mean, it came from a long free kick, and strangely enough, they didn't send any big players up from the back, did Reading, but the Bolton really nerves, I think, taken over there.
It's an indirect free kick. Osborn and Lovell behind it. Wdowczyk also looks as though he might fancy a little crack at it, but it's cannons off the Bolton wall, and the scare that Bolton created for themselves has gone. Lovell chasing. And they get a corner. Good bright start by Reading.
There's a lovely little ball by Osborn there. Stubbs just managed to get hold of before the byline.
Simon Osborn, formerly with Crystal Palace, with the corner now for Reading. Williams has come up late, but it went past him. Gooding knocking it in, but there's a free kick to Bolton. Green, knocking back to Goodney Bergsson. Spurs fans will remember him, of course, from Iceland as well. Signed for Bolton just allowed on the deadline day. Paatelainen the Finn. And away come Reading again, really hustling. That was Scott Taylor, but the ball through to Keith Branagan. Here's Scott Green. Blue and white balloons on the pitch as well, confusing everybody. McAteer could really orchestrate things through that midfield. McGinlay stabbing it forward. McAteer again. Paatelainen's waiting in the middle. Good challenge by Osborn. A lot of vision about Simon Osborn, but also you'll notice through the afternoon he does the simple things very effectively as well. Here's McAteer again, crossing against towards Paatelainen. McPherson getting a hit to it, but didn't get a lot of ground on that one. McAteer knocking it in low this time. McPherson getting to that one. And a good challenge by Scott Taylor. And an excellent pass as well for Stuart Lovell. Played for Bernal. He loves coming forward to play the nice ball in here to Lee Nogan. Nogan's done well. He's done really well. He scored a super goal. A wonderful goal for Reading. That was an amazing piece of finishing. The coolness. It looked as though there were 2 or 3 moments when he might have shot, but he kept his head and he found an even better opening and finished in the most superb style for Reading. 1-0.
It was a wonderful move right from the beginning, but look at the confidence of Nogan there to twist and turn. It was Stubbs that he beat initially, then Scott Green came to him and he placed it in the corner. He didn't power it, he knew exactly what he was doing. Left foot, marvellous start.
That's his 21st goal of the season as well. He came for for a £250,000 from Watford. Let's have a look at this first, though. No foul there on Paatelainen. Referee turned away. Talking about Lee Nogan, though, he came from Watford. He's a Welshman born in Cardiff. And he came from Watford for a £250,000 in January. Since then, 12 goals now in 21 starts that have pushed Reading into this position. And that was the finish of a man in supreme form. And the other thing about Nogan that you won't have known about, because it was a very closely guarded secret, that he actually tweaked a calf muscle in training on Friday, and they were desperately worried on Saturday about whether he'd be fit. Well, he's fit, and he's made his point. Not least to the chairman, John Majeski, there. A smile of satisfaction there from the Reading chairman. But there's a long, long way to go in this game yet. And Bolton are a class outfit.
Bolton have decided to play, or at least to start the game, with McGinlay on the right-hand side and Paatelainen up the middle.
We thought it might be the other way about, at least I did, but you always felt that Paatelainen would go through the middle, didn't you?
I think his strength is his heading, Brian, and you need him on that back post wherever the ball is for the diagonal. But Bruce has got all sorts of options to change it around. Neil McDonald is very versatile in the middle, and of course Thompson's tucked in from the left-hand side.
Here's McGinlay on this right-hand side. He's got the header in this time. Paatelainen beaten in the air, though, by Williams. McGinlay getting it in there again. This time Osborn plays the neat ball to Gooding. Down the line again, Lovell. But Bergsson is there for Bolton. Back it goes. Branagan. Gilkes going for this. Won it confidently in the air, but there was a bit of shoving by Gilkes on McGinlay. Free kick to Bolton.
McGinlay certainly in this right-hand position will have to be bright, because the way Reading play, Gilkes and Bernal, the two full-backs, really sit tight on the opposition flank players.
Gilkes again, brought down, free kick. The sole survivor when Gilkes is, when Reading were here for the Simod Cup, which they won against Luton in 1988. But he's quick as well, Gilkes.
One of the fastest players.
Oh, he's a lovely sight when he's in full stride, isn't he? Goal kick to Bolton. Well, what a goal that was by Nogan.
Marvellous, really confident finish. Here you see him shielding the ball, he takes it right, and then he turns back on himself. It was really splendid. Scott Green was possibly a little bit rushed as he came into challenge, but the placement of the shot was exceptional.
Taylor, good turn. They're playing with such confidence. There's terrific spirit in this Reading side. Who played the ball on nicely again for Scott Taylor. It could be in here again. Oh my goodness! And Gooding almost got to it at the far post.
Well, he's alive, Scott Taylor, no doubt about that. He was influential in the first goal with Bernal on the right. Look away, went for that return, determined to get beyond, and he did the right thing across the face of the goal. The merest of touches by Bergsson would have resulted in an own goal. Super ball in as well by Lovell. Look at the way he looked up, and he decides to put it across the face of the keeper. A perfect ball, really. The merest of touches would have resulted in a 2-goal lead.
Osborn to Gooding, chipped on again by Gooding towards Lee Nogan. Played with Oxford before he joined Watford. Bernal with the touch there. Stubbs. Rioch has been through it all before. Colin Todd, you can see chewing alongside him there. They're a management team with great experience and calmness. They will be putting things right. This is Wdowczyk. Gilkes. Picking up his other wing back, Bernal. Played inside. Oh my goodness, that was a difficult ball for Osborn. And the referee is blown up, it'll be a free kick to Reading. I'm not at all sure, though, that one Reading player didn't foul the other there. From this angle. Quinn, the co-manager of Reading, looking no doubt to get a bit of Wembley turf under his feet possibly this afternoon. He's coming on quite often late in the game. Bergsson, the green. Nogan couldn't quite get a hold of it as he came across him. McPherson. Break is on again for McAteer. Wdowczyk, excellently timed tackle. Nicks the ball inside to Gooding. Gooding is fouled by McAteer.
It's nice to see the way Reading knock the ball about, even from deep positions. Wdowczyk never gives the ball away with silly long passes. He always looks to work the ball to a colleague. And there was an occasion where they played it a little bit tight, but they were in control and they got fouled, and so they get the free kick. They've got the benefit of it.
Hislop hitting it long, very long. Nogan with a header. Lovell coming in. Gooding battling away. Another free kick, right on the edge of the box. Gooding is claiming it was right inside, right in the corner there, inside the box, but I think that's a little optimistic.
We've certainly had a few minutes of nerves by Bolton. Mistimed tackles, they're conceding free kicks. Goes the back pass in the first minute.
Osborn playing it in. Well, it's another goal. And this time it's the centre-back, Williams. Oh, Bolton were absolutely fast asleep. Can you believe that, David?
Well, just no one picked him up at all. He just slipped through, unchallenged. It was a lovely, deft little touch. But, I mean, you see him run from behind there. It looks as though almost the four players there haven't decided who marks whom. It's straightforward. It's a little touch into the near post area, and they're static at the moment. Stubbs and Bergsson have got to sort things out. They look stayed, they look tired, they don't look alive.
Osborn. It's only his third goal of the season for Adrian Williams. Keeper's ball. Minutes gone. Who could have believed that Reading would be 2 up at this point? Osborn played in once again to Gooding. They're playing such enterprising football, Reading, aren't they?
Yes, you know, it's strange, Brian. They're not a quick team apart from Gilkes and Bernal on the wide positions, but they can all pass the ball. Taylor's got a bit of pace. I mean, they can all pass the ball, and if you can keep possession of the ball, then the other side, it makes it such hard work, and it's so hard running without that damn thing. You need the ball.
Osborn's corner, floated in again. Safe catch this time by Keith Branagan. McPherson's header. Here's Nogan. Bernal. Osborn. McGinlay getting there. Now what Bolton have got to do, they've somehow got to resurrect the form they showed here, even in defeat against Liverpool, and they've not shown a glimmer of that so far.
Well, he's had his front players disturbed. He's got goal scorers. He's got plenty of those as Bruce Rioch. He's got Thompson, McGinlay, Coyle, Paatelainen. They can all score, but I'm not sure if they've got the balance right. They're going to miss David Lee, that is for sure. And sometimes when they missed him earlier in the season, they were able to play the Dutchman Richard Sneakers. But today, it looks rather foreign. Whoever they play wide right isn't a natural wide right player.
McGinley's doing his best, but Gilkes had the pace. Comes to McAteer. Crossed in deep there towards Paatelainen. That was a good header. Hislop, flinging himself across the goal. It's only a foot or so wide with it.
I think the good thing that Bolton there will be pleased with, that McAteer getting forward. He's got to try and get forward on this side. It was a good header. It was downwards. Hislop spread. Good contact.
Away by the second goal scorer, Adrian Williams. He scored with a fantastic header in the last minute of their last league game, also did Williams, against Charlton Athletic. Just nicely taken by Lovell. Played just a little too hurriedly towards Nogan. Bolton get possession again, trying to reform, trying to regroup, trying to get their brains working again, trying to get some calmness into their play. But then giving it away again here. Osborn played in again to Nogan. Holding it up well, gets it back again. Gooding trying it down this left side. Gilkes, Lovell is outside him. Gilkes might fancy going all the way himself. Just too high for Lee Nogan. And Jimmy Phillips will bring it away now for Bolton Wanderers. Williams with a header. Nogan, Bernal, Taylor, Nogan, touch on. It's Osborn who's gone there first. Well, I think that ball was out of play, actually. You say not, David?
I just look at Bolton, who seems so edgy at the start of this game. You know, sometimes when I've had a few days away, it can work for you, it can work against you. Reading look refreshed. Bolton at the moment look a bit bemused by it all, and whether Bruce has got to get greater width with Thompson pushing wider, he's certainly got to get the fullbacks joining in, and they're going to be so vital they get a goal before half-time, whereas Reading have the ability to kill the game off. They're the best passing team at their pace in this league.
And at the moment it seems like a home game for them, because the Reading fans, and there are 36,000 of them in this crowd today, just can't believe this great start the team have given them, leading 2-0. Considering their home attendance is something under 10,000, to sell 36,000 tickets, where have they all come from? They sold 17,000 on the very first day they were put on sale. Here's McAteer. Pudding. Here comes Stubbs, a real inspirational figure for Bolton. They need somebody now to inspire them. But Williams lets that float over his head. Saw that Hislop was not far enough away, not far enough off his line to safely offer him the ball, and then they had a few words there as Williams banged the ball into touch to safety. Phillips again. McDonald did well actually just to keep that going. Stubbs playing it in again here. Up to Paatelainen. Looks promising from McAteer.
He'll be making plenty of forward runs now. He's got no choice. He's got a marvellous engine. Slightly ambitious. He was closed down well on the edge of the box. Never got a real clean sight of the goal. But we know he can break forward so well, and he's got this marvellous lung power. I don't think he's scored that many goals this season, actually.
McAteer.
Yeah.
He's got 8.
Yeah, it's not bad for a midfield player.
Bernal. By Lovell. Taylor. Alan Stubbs is there. (2-0) for Reading then. Nogan and Williams the scorers, both in the first 12 minutes of the game. Osborn. Bolton get it away again. This looks better. McGinlay trying to keep it, or rather McDonald trying to keep it going to find McGinlay, but Gilkes again in there first.
I wonder what's going through Rioch's mind now, because he's got this Dutchman, Freitas, who's very quick, tall, long strider. He could possibly use him in a wide position. At the moment, he's trying to accommodate his 3 strikers, and McGinlay doesn't look that comfortable out wide.
Phillips. Played into McGinlay. A touch by him. Paatelainen almost got there, but Hislop read that one well and got quickly off his line. Yes, while Bolton are having those problems, as you say, Reading look the settled side they are. Unchanged for the 6th successive time, and the defence seems nicely settled as well, doesn't it? Wdowczyk and Williams particularly at the centre of the defence.
Yes, they play with McPherson as a real marking.
McPherson, I beg your pardon. And 3 in the centre-back.
Yeah. Williams and McPherson like to mark. Wdowczyk likes to sit off and play a little bit loose. He's the one that's got the real calm and composure on the ball. Because some teams, Bolton might decide to push the 3 front players right against them and try and disturb them that way. But then they'd have to play a long chasing game, and Bolton have always stuck to their principles. I would suggest too, I think Ron Atkinson mentioned it before, and he's probably seen less than I have in this league this season. These were, by popular opinion amongst the other managers, the best 2 footballing sides.
Well, they certainly get that impression actually already, don't they? I mean, Bolton are struggling with their game at the moment, but Reading have been, they've matched the weather. Scott Taylor is really fired up. Took that away well from McAteer, and then Gooding spreads it wide on the far side to Stuart Lovell. Taken up by Bernal. 2 Australian-born players there. Bernal playing it in, but a little too high, and Scott Green gets it away, and very effectively too, up towards McGinlay. But Gilkes, there's his pace again, no foul, and it comes off McGinlay for a Reading throw.
Well, they've got some industrious players Reading in the middle of the field. And at the moment, they are dominating the game because they're winning that area, really. Bolton have to get their passing together. Gooding, Taylor, and the 2 strikers are working very, very hard for Reading. They drop back immediately, Bolton get the ball.
2-0 to Reading. 25 minutes gone. Sorry, I beg your pardon, 22 minutes gone. Nogan. Kicked inside. Taylor. Oh, that was a late challenge. That's a booking for McAteer. He can't really argue with that. And Taylor, who has been everywhere on this field, had a hand in the first goal and has looked really lively, was the target. Yes. Not much doubt that's a yellow card.
Yeah, he was there first the ball, and McAteer had no chance to get into it. He rode the challenge slightly, but they'll enjoy the breather. Gilkes is having a sit down whilst Taylor has treatment, and they'll be reminding each other, Reading, that, you know, they've only played a quarter of the game, there's a long way to go, let's keep passing the ball about. And certainly from Bolton's point of view, I think at the moment over on the touchline, Paatelainen is having a word with the bench, and he's had a little bit of refreshment too, and he'll be taking some instructions back out to the team.
Well, their first problem is now dealing with Michael Gilkes. It's a goal kick. Bolton lost in a playoff to Tranmere here in 1991. Here's Hislop. Couldn't risk hitting it up the field because Coyle was very close at hand.
Very right-footed goalkeeper too, he was on his wrong side.
McGinlay. Charged down by Gilkes. Osborn, flick with the outside of the boot up towards Lovell. McAteer. Gooding's after Green. Get it back to Stubbs. And now McDonald. Had few games this season, McDonald. I think he's only had 5 starts. Stubbs. Green again. forward. Andy Bernal had come right across this side because Thompson had come over here. Bernal had come across, marking him tightly. Green again with the cross too close to Shaka Hislop. Lad who was born in London at the age of 2. His family took him off to Trinidad. He then went to University at Washington and has got a degree in mechanical engineering. This Reading goalkeeper.
And he's 6'6", and he's got one of the longest reaches, I think, if not the longest, certainly in this division. And he really plucks the ball out the sky when they put those cross balls in.
Well, he might get an opportunity to do that now, David. No, it's hit in low this time. It's a difficult one. Gilkes adjusted very well indeed. Finds Osborn, sprays it along the line there. Flicked on by Nogan. But an easy ball there for Phillips to find Bergsson, to find McDonald, and now Green. Bolton, you fancy just getting a little more shape to their play, David?
Yeah, they're playing better, they're making more passes, but they're passing without progression because Reading are getting back behind the ball so well. And you see now Gooding, the oldest player on the field, really ferreting for that ball. And the Bolton supporters are frustrated because they can see that they're passing, but they can't get forward. They certainly can't hit space behind Reading because Reading just back off.
And here come Reading again with Andy Bernal. Osborn. That's from Croydon. About 70-odd games at Crystal Palace. Oh, Scott Taylor's done well, lining up the cross. It's a really deep one, a bit too deep. Oh, Branagan had it, almost lost it for a moment. McDonald to Paatelainen, left for McAteer, in comes Gilkes. Phillips. It's a good cross. And a good header by Williams. Donald trying to keep it going. It's a good ball. He's found McGinlay. There's his cross. It's an excellent cross by McGinlay. And Paatelainen was coming in quickly. In the end, it was Wdowczyk with a header away for the corner. What a great cross by McGinlay, though. And Bolton beginning to feel their way into this game now. It's their corner. Towards Paatelainen. Osborn picks up anything loose in that sort of area, goes on the run this time, but tries an ambitious flick with the outside of the boot towards Scott Taylor, cut out by Bolton. Stubbs too far forward for McAteer. Look at Lovell fighting and working for the ball again, finds Gooding. Hit straight to Bergsson. Gooding again. Joint manager setting a really first-class example of the work rate here for Reading. Gilkes into his stride. Will he get into his stride? There's a chance of a shot, but it was a simple one there. Phillips. Bolton need a goal. Hislop punching that one, lost his way a little bit there. It looked catchable, but he gained enough ground with the punch to find Michael Gilkes. Gooding to Osborn. To Bernal. Williams. David was saying, you can see the passing of this Reading side, not the quickest side, but their passing is excellent, making the ball work, gaining ground, Gilkes now with that little explosion perhaps at the end, the cross a little too close to Branagan.
Yeah, without Jimmy Quinn, who relishes the high crosses, he's marvellous in the air. You know, they just need Reading to keep the ball into feet, into out to in, and just work the ball along this beautiful grass that's Wembley today. And incidentally, there's very little breeze. It's the most perfect conditions to play. They should really be enjoying it, despite all the terrible tension down there.
Jump by Paatelainen. Gooding now for Reading. Touched on. Osborn again. With a quarter of an hour of the first half left, Bolton need to make inroads before half-time on this 2-0 Reading lead. And here's Thompson. Well, for a moment, I think Hislop was just a little away from his near post and suddenly realised that there was a bit of danger on.
I think that was the first time Thompson has escaped the clutches of Bernal, really. It was a fast ball. Thompson only needs a yard, half a yard, to manoeuvre and steer that ball with his excellent left foot. We saw that in the League Cup final, and he's got real talent. So far, he's tucked right in field. Sometimes I feel he can be more effective because he can get those crosses in and he can stretch teams by getting around the outside when he's wider.
Green. Territorially, Bolton have had more of it in the last 10 minutes. McDonald, Wdowczyk, Osborn, Gooding. You just joined us, what an explosive start it was, with Reading scoring 2 goals in the first 12 minutes. Nogan the first, and the defender Adrian Williams the second. 31 gone now, 2-0 to Reading. The winners, remember, go into the Premiership next season. Green with a cross for Bolton in the white shirts. Hislop with a good safe catch.
So vital for Bolton that Green and Phillips push in as much as possible, because already in midfield, Reading look as though they've got the superiority there. Thompson's been pushed right in to cope with Scott Taylor. McDonald, who so far has no influence on the game at all, is in there with Osborn, and Gooding is against McAteer. So it's vital. The spare players really are the Bolton fullbacks, and they must get forward at every opportunity to try and add some attacking to the wide outside. Otherwise, they're not going to get the width.
Gilkes. Osborn again. He was in the Crystal Palace party but didn't make the actual playing squad when they were here for the cup final against Manchester United. What was that, 90 or 91? In the Steve Coppell days. Lovell. Taylor. Hislop, who'd never been here before for football. Telling me, been here for a Madonna concert, he said, but not for anything the like of which he's enjoying today. But he's a super character, Hislop, 26 years old, and there have been quite a few Premiership scouts looking his way. Paatelainen losing out. Osborn, who has done just about everything right so far for Reading. He really has played well so far, Osborn. So important to them, David.
Yeah, he's got these nice little outside of the foot touches. He's a good worker, he's a good recovery runner when he loses the ball. He knows his defensive responsibilities, and I have to say it's been a very shrewd signing. I mean, one incident, of course, by Mark McGee. We shouldn't forget or neglect the work that McGee and Colin Lee and Michael Hickman did here with this group of players, because they assembled this group who've been taken on so splendidly by the two managers, Quinn and Gooding.
That's right, Nogan was the only one that's been added to the Mark McGee squad. Oh, here's Gilkes. Has he given a penalty? He has. Gilkes has gone down. And there's a chance now for Reading to go 3 up. Well, Jimmy Quinn normally takes the penalties, or he did early in the season. I just wonder who is going to take this responsibility. It's going to be Simon Osborn, I think.
There's always a danger when Gilkes runs at you, you get a bit nervous because of his pace. And really it was silly of McAteer because the ball had gone away.
No, it's not Osborn, it's going to be Stuart Lovell.
Well, if he gets this, I think it would be an absolute miracle if Rioch can recover the poise of his team.
Stuart Lovell with a chance to make it 3-0. It's brilliantly saved. And Lovell can't force it home. A great piece of goalkeeping by Branagan. And who knows, that might well turn things around. 3-0, as David was saying, would almost be impossible. And now, if Bolton can get back into the game, they would see that that could well be the turning point on a really vital afternoon. Play on, it's Thompson. It's a deflection, it's a corner, and it's Bolton attacking. Excellent work by Branagan at the other end then, as we now... Well, is that going to be a lifeline for Rioch's men? Here comes the corner. Alan Thompson with it. Knocked in there and just tipped over by Hislop. Goodney Bergsson with a really good header there for Bolton. And big Hislop needed his full height just to flick that one away. So nearly 2-1. Oh, my goodness me. Goal kick.
Well, that was almost a glorious couple of minutes for Bolton. Will it revive their spirits? They've started so shakily.
But it's a terrific game of football, David.
Yeah, it's got great chances now, particularly if Bolton can sneak one before half-time. That would really set this game alight.
Free kick to Bolton. They just feel they've got the wind in their sails now. McDonald springing it wide. Thompson. Well, the Thompson now, it's Phillips. And in goes Scott Taylor. McDonald. Thompson. McDonald. Stubbs. Scott Green. McGinlay. With a good ball in towards Paatelainen.
One gets the feeling that Bolton, with the strength in the air, have a little chance when that ball is lofted towards that 6-yard box, despite Hislop's height.
You feel also that the tide of battle may just have turned a little bit their way as well, David.
Well, I think that the next few minutes will tell that, whether Reading begin to get more possession or not. Certainly Bolton now are beginning to pass the ball more comfortably, and the full-backs, and here's the man, Phillips, is beginning to get a little bit more forward.
Here's Phillips towards McAteer, and now heading it back. Well, in the end, Hislop had to make a good save from Bernal, who was literally prostrate there to knock the ball back with his head so that the keeper could save it with his hands.
Well, it's a perfect knockback across the goal. It was a good ball by Phillips, and that's the play that they need. Getting forward, switching the ball quickly, getting in at the back post. McGinley's playing a much narrower game now on the right-hand side, and Green is taking the space coming behind him.
Here come Bolton again with Alan Stubbs. Green. Bergsson. 6 minutes of the first half left. Thompson. Phillips. Nicely flighted and weighted ball there. Nogan trying to get back and help out. Wdowczyk lost that one. Coyle. Wdowczyk in the end clearing his lines. by Gilkes, a touch by Nogan. Lovell's up ahead of him. Falls now for Taylor. Oh, he's turned beautifully there. They thought he was going to pass to Lovell. In the end, he swept it to the far side. And Nogan's cross finding McGinlay. That's a corner.
Most of the good counter-attacking of Reading springs from Scott Taylor.
Pudding's corner. Played for Osborn. Deep one again there. And it was McPherson. But ahead of it provides the goal kick for Bolton Wanderers. Bolton, a club of such great traditions, for so long one of our leading clubs, although they never actually won the league championship. FA Cup winners 4 times. Looking to bring the good times back to Burnden Park, but now still here at Wembley with a major job to be done. Reading, of course, in the 124 years of their history, have never actually ever been in the top flight. Good check with the kick for them. Knocked on by Nogan. Lovell tried to get possession. Nogan. Bernal. Okay. And the president of Bolton, Matt Lofthouse. Could do with a bit of his striking power now. Bolton with 2 goals to make up. Talking about Bolton being one of our great clubs, well, they certainly were in the heydays of the great Nat. Here's Phillips. Wdowczyk just getting in to stab it away. A little over 2 minutes to go to half-time now. Alan Thompson. This is Owen Coyle. In by Phillips. Headed away by Osborn. Thompson again. And again, Simon Osborn there. With a clearance for Reading. Thompson hitting it long towards Paatelainen. Shaka Hislop. Lost it just for a moment.
Very confident, he comes a long way at times, Hislop. I mean, there it was a matter of getting almost, you know, under the feet of Adrian Williams.
Oh, here's a chance for Lovell. Oh, just over the top. A mistake by Bolton, and it just isn't Stuart Lovell's day at the moment. The missed penalty and the missed opportunity there, but I mean, to be fair to him, he was onto it so quickly. Stubbs had no idea. That was a little lazy back header for the goalkeeper. He was unaware that Lovell was in behind him. Taylor. It's a really entertaining game, though. Bernal. Osborn. McAteer. To McGinlay. Stubbs coming forward. Hit long, but this is the goalkeeper's ball.
Not Stubbs' day so far. That was an inaccurate ball. He's one of the best strikers of all ball in this division. He's got tremendous poise and confidence when in possession. And I mean, he's just made that ghastly mistake. Bergsson wasn't really covering him properly, and Lovell came from nowhere to miss that chance, which I have to say, if Reading do get the third, could settle this game.
Wdowczyk has had an excellent first half. Played here before as Darius Wdowczyk, the Pole from Legia Warsaw, and then with Celtic. He played twice here for Poland against England. McDonald hustled by Nogan. So the 45 minutes are up. They're playing time added on. Somebody's lost a boot. It's Coyle. Stubbs, hit long. Half-time whistle. What a brilliant start it was for Reading. Those 2 goals in the first 12 minutes, Lee Nogan and Adrian Williams. And then the missed penalty, which could have absolutely killed them off once and for all. There's Nogan, who got them off to a terrific start with his 21st goal of the season overall. Some for Watford, some for Reading. Williams, as I say, the second one. And then the missed penalty by Stuart Lovell. Let's have a word with Jimmy Quinn, who's with Gary Newbon.
Jimmy, you played very well apart from Stuart Lovell missing both a penalty and a good opportunity to wrap it up there.
Yes, it would have been nice to obviously get the penalty, but I'm happy with 2-0. You know, we put a lot of effort in the first half, and I've got to get in there now and make sure that we put the same effort in the second half. And we're very, very good at the back, very tight. The goalkeeper's been magnificent. We've just got to keep attacking their back four, I feel, and probably get another goal or two.
Thank you.
Thanks.
For Neil McDonald. Now, what will that do to the side, David Cleat?
Well, he's got real legs. He can run. He's quick, and he'll try and stretch them. At the moment, Bolton aren't really getting behind Reading. They're getting crosses into the box, but they're not able to find space behind them. Now, Freitas can stretch them. How the rest of the team will shape, we'll just have to see as we start this second half. But he's a quick forward.
So Reading get the second half underway. 45 minutes in which they might well find themselves at the end of it in the company of the likes of Manchester United and Liverpool and Newcastle and Arsenal in the Premiership of the game here in England. Freitas gets his first touch. Played in for McAteer. Thompson playing more or less on the midfield position now as Phillips floats one in. Knocked back again. McAteer tries to go in, was bundled out of the play, and Gilkes strokes the ball away and then loses it to Thompson. Here's Green. Such a golden horizon really for Reading. And yet, 5 years ago, they were so close to extinction when John Majeski, their present chairman, came in and rescued them financially. Freitas. Double with McPherson there. Paatelainen. And McAteer in quickly. There's an urgency, and there's a little more decisiveness about the Bolton play, but they are worried about Paatelainen there.
Well, we've already seen 2 good crosses. Here's the one coming from the right, Freitas. And I just thought there, for once, Williams gave Paatelainen just a little bit too much room there for that first shot. But the previous cross was brilliantly headed away, I thought, by Williams. It was a wonderfully tantalising cross by Phillips coming forward. And I'm quite sure if Bruce Rioch has said to his players, it might sound rather simple what he's just said to Gary Newbon, they only need a goal. And if they can push forward and get a break, already they're surging towards that box, it can change the face of this game.
Hislop then with the kick for Reading. Gooding. Gilkes. And Goodney Bergsson. Green. Now Stubbs playing it wide here for Phillips. Coyle on the left-hand side. Phillips again. Back to Branagan. Who knows, his penalty save might just have been the springboard.
Yeah, Bolton have gone Coyle and McGinlay as the two wide players, and Thompson has gone infield with McAteer. So once again, basic shape of 4-4-2 with that man Thompson who heads that ball with a partner of McAteer.
Osborn getting in quickly there. Thompson, you can see they're in that central midfield position now. It's a free kick to Reading. Osborn with it. Wdowczyk's gone alongside him. Here he is, Polish player. And that deflected off Bergsson for the corner for Reading. Paatelainen coming back to help out. Wdowczyk, the player. In fact, they signed almost by accident, Reading. They'd gone, McGee had gone to Falkirk, I think it was, to look at another player. And Wdowczyk was there, playing a game on loan for Celtic. He liked what he saw, forgot the other player and signed Wdowczyk. Well, that could have gone anywhere.
Chance now for McPherson.
Again, Bolton looked very sleepy in their own box just for a moment or two there. Taylor. Again. Heading. That's Gilkes. All just in play. The linesman kept his flag down. And the free kick to Reading. This will irritate Bolton because they made a good, bright start to the second half. They wanted to keep that momentum going, and now they're being pegged back by one or two decisions that have gone against them. There's the free kick quickly taken, and Lovell was again quickly out of his blocks, but it didn't come to him, and instead it's Alan Thompson. And look at Taylor getting back at him, but Thompson shrugged him off this time. This is an amazing run by Alan Thompson. Is he going to be able to finish it off? No. Knocked away by Keith McPherson. McAteer. Freitas, a little flick by him. McAteer again. Phillips for Bolton. Wide for Thompson. And a goal kick. The Bolton men in the centre won't be too happy with Thompson for that.
No, they wanted a more subtle ball, and he's gone and put a fast ball in. Really, he might have been a little bit tired there as he hit that shot. You see, it was rather wild and loose. Didn't thank for his non-kicking foot, but he'd just been on that run through the middle.
Shagger Hislop. Phillips. Osborn. Flipped on again. Lovell nodded back. Good combination again here by Reading.
And it's Simon Osborn. Will he get... Oh, he almost guided it in there.
Will it come now for Gooding? McAteer's trying to hold him up. And McAteer and Green between them get it away comfortably up to Paatelainen. Touched by him to Thompson. Flick now for Freitas.
Coyle's gone through the middle. Still with Freitas. Hislop nicely behind that one.
I think already we can see the extra dimension that Freitas has given them. He's prepared to run from centre out wide fast.
Wdowczyk. Coyle making a run out of defence, finding Stuart Lovell. Now Gilkes. Stopped quite easily there by Scott Quinn. Thompson picking up the play, picking out Phillips. Freitas. Thompson combining much better now. Thompson with a little break, and well, that is the height of ambition. if you're trying to chip Shaka Hislop at 6'6" from something like 30 yards. Let's have a quick word with Ron Atkinson. The second half, Bolton looking a little more positive, Ron.
Yes, they've obviously got a gamble, Brian. I'm a little bit surprised he's put the Freitas in an orthodox striking position. I thought he'd have done everything possible in his power to up Bruce Rioch to have got McGinlay in a more central area. I've seen the Freitas play in the central midfield where he can run on from there, and I thought he might have been prepared to do that and try somehow or other and get McGinlay in a goal-scoring position.
Thank you, Ron. Certainly McGinley's had a tremendous season, 22 goals. And 43 last season, and of course amongst those 22 were the two vital ones in the second game against Wolves in the semi-final of playoff. Osborn knocking it back to Wdowczyk. Taylor into Lovell. And now Stubbs. Probing ball that finds Paatelainen. Coyle away on this left flank still. Williams, who's had a faultless game at the back. But that wasn't his best clearance by any means, and Paatelainen knocking it back for Thompson. There's a buzz about Bolton at the moment, I must say. Phillips. Coyle. The Freitas in the middle. Coyle playing it in towards him. And Williams making perhaps his first mistake, watching the ball and totally unaware that Paatelainen was coming in behind him.
Sometimes that fasting, swinging ball is so difficult to defend. There you see Coyle play that ball in. Williams is caught looking, and in front of him, oh my word, that's a chance gone begging. That would have given Bolton such a lift.
The jump by Stubbs, good clearance by Green, and McPherson heading it away. They had worries about Keith McPherson. He, of all things, dropped a weight on his foot in Lanzarote when they were there the last week or so, and couldn't train until, well, he didn't train, in fact, until yesterday. Williams gets that away. Lovell with a header. Stubbs.
Do need this goal quickly, do Bolton, because the more they come forward, the more they're likely to get caught on the counter-attack. If they can get just one goal now, then the game becomes very even again.
And with only just 10 minutes of the second half gone, there's still plenty of time for Bolton to pull this game round. Although Reading give me the impression, I've seen them a few times, David, that they are a side that defends well.
Yeah, I mean, away from home is where you're tested, and they've done brilliantly away from home. They've only conceded 44 goals all season.
Bernal getting it forward. Lee Nogan, who got this match off to such a tremendous start. Chasing, but Stubbs, safely back to Branagan. And now for Phillips. Bolton just need this impetus of a goal. The game really fascinatingly poised, and the stakes are so incredibly high. I mean, you're talking in terms of millions of pounds if either side gets into the Premiership. Gilkes dispossessing McGinlay, getting away from Thompson, turning Bergsson. Throw to Reading.
Shades of his Simon Cup performance there against Luton in the late 80s, when he destroyed Luton, I think.
Scored that day as well. Here he is on the ball again. McPherson's jump, no foul. Taylor playing it, or tried to play it into the path of Osborn. Here's Gooding coming back to retrieve, or rather Nogan getting back to retrieve it, but the whistle had gone. It's a free kick to Bolton.
Yeah, Ron Atkinson spoke at half-time about the running. In fact, I think Nogan's hurt his hamstring and he's wanting the trainer, but he spoke about the excellent running of the front two of Reading. He said they'd ran them ragged in actual fact. but certainly when they have to defend, that's when their real work is done. They're absolutely superb at ferreting as a pair and getting behind the ball to make it easier for the Reading midfield and back players to defend.
Jimmy Quinn warming up, possibly Nogan, as I was saying to you earlier on, he had this little tweak of the calf muscle on Friday. And I suppose he feels this is the last game of the season. It's such an important one to give it a real go until he just can't go on anymore. For Freitas, here's Wdowczyk again. Lovell going in. I liked his performance today, Lovell. I mean, he's not had the best of luck, the penalty that went astray and the chance just after it, but my goodness, he's worked so well.
Strikers are about pairings, I always feel that,
yes.
And these two have hit it off together.
He was saying to me on Saturday when I was talking to him that they're not really selfish strikers like a lot of people. They love making goals for each other.
Yeah, they're totally unselfish.
Well, here comes Stubbs for Bolton. And he played far too close to Simon Osborn there. And now Mick Gooding for Reading. $64,000 here today, and I must say all of them still very much on tenterhooks. It's a game, although Reading have a clear advantage now, you feel that it's still a game that could go anyway. McAteer unhappy with Gooding, Gooding unhappy with McAteer. The referee, is he unhappy with Gooding? I think he is. It's going to be a yellow card for Mick Gooding.
He's a marvellous competitor, Mick Gooding. He's been used to spelling his name out to referees over the years, but he gives great value for money. He's a marvellous worker. He's a real all-action midfield player with good passing ability.
Back and defending now, Reading. That came off for Adrian Williams. It might go for the corner unless he can stop it. He hasn't. It's a corner for Bolton. Just half an hour to go now. Thompson with the corner for Bolton. Deep one. Back again. Freitas tried an overhead that might have gone anywhere. In fact, he didn't get nearly enough purchase on it, and it was quite easy for Hislop.
You just can't help thinking when they have had the half chances in the box, it hasn't been their day. The ball hasn't run. When it comes down here, Freitas just pulls away enough. As it drops, there was time for Reading to close him. Tries the spectacular, but he did have a little bit of room, although he had his back to goal, which is always difficult.
Gooding playing it behind the front two there, and Scott Taylor, who joined them. So Bolton can take it up again. It's with Paatelainen. It's a lovely ball by him for Coyle. Freitas waiting in the middle for him. Gilkes with a header to be sure that it wasn't going to go to McGinlay. And so it's another corner for Bolton. So Bolton continue to press, they continue to have more of the game, they continue to look for the opening goal now that might change everything around once more. That was Lee Nogan kneeing that ball away. Another cross coming in, and that time it was McPherson putting it behind for another corner. These are really testing moments now, and you just wonder that Reading went off at such a rush. You just wonder whether there's going to be much left in the petrol tank in the last 10 minutes, quarter of an hour of this game. Here comes another corner. Hislop fisting it that one away. McAteer anxious to keep it going. Thompson with another cross in once more. Hislop, a good safe catch that time. Cheers of relief there from the Reading fans.
It's important they keep those in-swinging balls away from the goalkeeper.
Stubbs heading it back comfortably to Branagan. McAteer. To Paatelainen. Thompson now trying to get Phillips down that flank. Bernal holding him at bay. Jimmy Quinn looks as though he might soon be coming on. at the moment it's to Freitas for Bolton. Across the face of that goal. Hoped that McGinlay would be at the far side. And Lee Nogan, who's had that calf muscle injury, goes off. Jimmy Quinn, vastly experienced, 35 years old, Northern Ireland international, played with Swindon and Blackburn and Leicester, Bradford City, West Ham and Bournemouth, and now having a glorious autumn of his career, really, as the co-manager at Reading. Now, what will that do, David? Let's have a look first. I presume with his height, it's going to mean more of a target, a different type of attack.
Well, we'll just watch this tussle.
Indeed we must. There were a few feet flying there, Taylor and Coyle, and the referee gave the folks very quickly in.
Well, Reading have got their two managers on now to keep them calm. They should have a voice at both ends of the field, more or less.
Check.
But basically, Quinn will he'll be less mobile, that is for sure. But he can hold that ball up. I mean, he's a magnificent shooter. I had him at Leicester. He's a wonderful striker of the ball. He's brilliant in the air. And what he'll do is he'll probably play up now more or less as a lone front player, and he'll just drop Lovell in a little bit.
There he is on the ball, just shielded it nicely for his fellow manager, Mick Gooding. McAteer. Up goes Williams. Lovell. Quinn couldn't quite take it up. A little over 25 minutes left. Nogan, left leg, left foot, did a powerful job early on. As Ron Atkinson was saying at half-time, a goal really that would have graced any stadium in the world. Jump by Williams. That's an unfair jump by Williams. In fact, he's going to get a yellow card for it. Strong. What do you think, David?
Well, he obviously felt that he went in with his shoulder there, with his elbow. I think he did, and I think it's a justifiable booking. Williams has done well because he missed much of the season with injury. He's come back. In fact, I think his first game back was at Luton a few weeks ago, and he's done well to get back into the stride.
Gilkes. McGinlay. McAteer played in quickly. That was an excellent ball played in there. Just caught Reading out for a moment, and they were lucky it didn't fall to a Bolton player. But here's Coyle. Good pressure this by Bolton. It came off Bernal for the corner. In fact, Coyle is saying it came off Bernal's arm, but
I think he's done his hamstring. I don't think there's any doubt about that. To Bernal, you saw him. They're going to have to make the second substitution straight away.
Hopkins, who's a defender in any case.
Yeah, his hamstring's gone. It was similar to Nogan, but Nogan didn't feel the pain as much when Nogan, a few minutes ago, had to leave the field. He also went for a ball and pulled up sharply, but my betting would be that he will take no further part in the game.
Well, he's been important to them, Andy Bernal, 23-year-old, 28-year-old, born in Canberra. And that's confirming that Adrian Williams, captain of Reading, he's played in every position for Reading, incidentally, including emergency goalkeeper, and scorer of what could be a vital second goal today here. Phil Holder, the former Brentford manager there, who's a coach at Reading, and Jeff Hopkins, once with Fulham, and with Crystal Palace, a Welsh international coming on, as you can see. Bernal, as David rightly says, taking no part in it. Reading at the moment down to 10 until Hopkins can come on. Thompson with the corner, floated in. Hislop tried to get to it. There were too many bodies in the way. He couldn't actually get to it. Thompson again. Driven again, straight to Gooding. Gooding playing it comfortably down for Quinn. Lovell, knocked down for Taylor. Back again for Lovell, and he couldn't get to that one. So Jimmy Quinn. Now for Osborn. Played for Gooding. Just getting away from the challenge of Green.
They must get this substitute on quickly. They can't afford to play with 10 men.
Gooding forcing it out to Quinn. He did really well there. Taylor. Quinn again, flick with the outside of the boot. Lovell chasing it. Phillips turning. And Reading will get that substitute on now, with Bernal already off. Just wonder how they will play, because Hopkins is a central defender. Might well put McPherson. Will they put McPherson out here, or is Hopkins is coming straight out to Bernal's place at right back, not disturbing those three centre-backs?
I think with them being 2 goals up, it's more important to keep the shape and don't do too much rearranging of other players.
Quinn, Hopkins gets his first touch, clips it in. Gilkes.
Bolton's only substitute now is a defender, so they really can't change the shape of their attacking play.
A little over 20 minutes left. Powerful header there by Williams. Up goes McPherson, but it's Freitas with the header. Taylor with that one for Reading. Taylor again, he's been a real live wire. Hopkins does well. A little touch there by Quinn. And Taylor now, with Lovell inside him, but white shirts surrounding him, and Stubbs bringing it away with great coolness there. Finding Scott Green. McGinlay. Little shove in the back by Gilkes. Free kick. Oh, Gilkes. And McGinlay, a war of words there. The frustration beginning to show. McAteer plays it in towards Paatelainen. Thompson tries to get there, but Hislop beats him to it.
That might have been a booking for Gilkes there. I mean, it was a blatant obstruction, and I think it was McGinlay was getting away from him on that right-hand side.
Osborn and now Bergsson. Just had it confirmed from the Reading bench that it is a hamstring that Bernal has suffered. Wdowczyk clear. Really got a nice pack under that left thigh. Freitas tried to get it back to McAteer. There were too many blue and white shirts around him. Stubbs. In that long towards the full-back Green. That was a nice jump there by Gooding. Lovell for Gooding. And again, that Bolton team are rolling forward once again. Stopped this time by Hopkins. But at the moment there isn't an awful lot of respite for Reading. And they're grateful for that 2-goal cushion that they achieved in the first 12 minutes of this game. Gooding now finding Quinn. Osborn. Gilkes. Will he take on McGinlay? He's gone past McGinlay. The crowd enjoyed that, the Reading part of it anyway. Gooding. Gilkes going on.
I think Gilkes can afford to sit and defend a little bit now, really.
Well, they could do with him back there now as McGinlay takes it forwards. And Wdowczyk will get a yellow card.
indiscipline and tiredness.
Yeah, sorry.
Just saying that only indiscipline and tiredness can do Reading now. I feel they've got enough. They can defend in numbers. They've lacked ambition now going forward in this second half. But if they start making silly tackles like that, if they start fouling, they are getting tired. They've used their substitutes. That could beat them.
Thompson floating it in. The little flick on goes wide of the Reading goal, but it goes off a Reading defender, so it's another corner. I got a feeling we've got a few more twists and turns in this game, you know. Thompson. Floated deep towards Paatelainen. That's his header. But Gilkes with a chance to get it away. Plays it for Wdowczyk. And then down the line towards Lovell, played in again, and again Bolton get possession. And there is absolutely no respite for this Reading defence at the moment. Wdowczyk. Long clearance. But that ball will come back again. Branagan. Just have to wonder whether Reading at the end of this long season, that explosive start, might have run out of steam. Here's Scott Green. Cross in there. Paatelainen knocked it down and headed away. That was heading towards the corner. Adrian Williams with a really important deflection there, after Paatelainen had won it so well in the air. McGinlay. And Williams, unsure of what was around him, played the safe way out and conceded another corner.
Well, you can't say Bolton aren't putting in a tremendous effort now. They're really squeezing this Reading defence, but still finding it difficult to make a clear-cut opportunity. There was a header, well blocked by Williams.
Corner floated in, Williams with a header away. Reading man, born and bred, Adrian Williams. McAteer playing it in. Gilkes. Osborn on the far side, but just kept in play by Gooding.
I don't feel that Reading need to play that longer ball yet. They need to just keep the ball a little bit more. If they've got runners up the front to hit the spaces and stretch Bolton, it'd be different, but they haven't.
Cross coming in. It's in there. Coyle. And now we've got that new twist. There's the cross. There's Owen Coyle with a header beyond the dive of Hislop. And Bolton are right back in this game. Green. Well, his last goal was away back in February against Notts County, Owen Coyle. What a timely moment to get his 6th of the season. Now, if you could stop the action for a moment, David Fleet, which way is it going to go now?
Well, I hope we've got twists and turns, because that's what makes football the wonderful game it is. What I do know is it's been a marvellous advert, really, for the NZ League, these two footballing sides, but it's certainly Bolton who've got more steam.
Phillips driving it towards McGinlay on the far side. That was an important challenge there by Michael Gilkes. But McGinlay comes away with it. No, Gooding can turn away. And they'll need the old heads of Gooding and Quinn now to steady this Reading ship. Bergsson. Hopkins away. Phillips. Coyle. Phillips again. Here's Thompson. Good interception by Wdowczyk. Paatelainen's after him. Oh, that's a booking for Paatelainen. say they would have met each other a few times in Scotland as well, when Paatelainen played for Aberdeen and Wdowczyk for Celtic.
Yeah, actually all the Bolton forwards, McGinlay was in Scotland, wasn't he? Owen Coyle was in Scotland, and of course Wdowczyk had a good season with Celtic when he first came from Poland, no question about that. He'll need all his influence at this moment, Wdowczyk. I feel they must try and keep the ball a little bit better, Reading. They've given it away far too cheaply in the last 20 minutes.
Running the game there as well, McGinlay. Thompson. About 12 minutes left. Phillips. Here's Wdowczyk again. Oh, but the free kick's been given to Bolton.
It's nerve-wracking up here, it must be terrible for
Oh,
us.
it's awful, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a whole season resting on a few minutes.
Now encapsulated into something like 11 minutes. 10 months of hard slog. It's the linesman's flagging, the ball had gone off for the goal kick. I was talking to Rioch actually before the game, and he was saying, I'm not against playoffs, he said, but the thing that I hate about playoffs is that you've played something like, nearly 50 games in the league before you actually get to the playoff. With a smaller league, yeah, it's acceptable if you play something like 35, 36 games and then have a playoff. That I can understand. That's the Coyle goal again. A great sight that for all Bolton fans. But he was saying every club in the land, in every dressing room, there are serious injuries and players that are carrying injuries, and that's a part of the game at the moment. Here's Gooding. Now can Lovell do something here? He's played it in there for Taylor!
Oh, that was a great chance and an excellent piece of goalkeeping by Branagan.
And Reading really made their first chance of the second half, and they made it well.
That was a brilliant move. And Taylor could have finished it, and he's been so influential in all Reading's moments this afternoon.
10 minutes left. Reading leading 2-1. Up towards Paatelainen, knocked down by him. Coyle couldn't quite get on the end of this one. Stubbs, the captain, bringing it forward again. Formidable figure. Hit towards Paatelainen and McGinlay. Coyle trying to get in there again, but Gilkes, with that effortless stride of his, getting it away up to Jimmy Quinn. Bergsson looking to hold him off, gets it back successfully to Keith Branagan. Very important stop he made just now from Scott Taylor, and even more important one from the penalty by Stuart Lovell.
Oh, to Freitas, there's a chance now for them.
It is so close, and it is so nerve-wracking. I think it's McPherson who's down. Well, that was so near. And at the other end, of course, there was the save by Branagan after some excellent work.
That was a superb header back there across.
It was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah, really set Taylor up, Lovell there.
Remember, Reading have got both their substitutes on. They will have to get McPherson playing, or play with 10. And John Majewski, well, a very successful businessman.
I think we shouldn't underestimate, Brian, that last save, of Hislop. He's come so quickly at De Freitas that really it's given De Freitas nothing, and he's lifted it over him at the last second. But he really came well to the goalkeeper and made him place that ball over the bar.
Lofthouse there, they're nerve-wracking moments for everybody connected with Bolton. A look at the watch now, yes, the seconds are tipping away. First half, the Reading fans thought it was a breeze, and now you may depend every minute to them seems like an hour. Osborn, Gooding playing it. Now to Jimmy Quinn. Gooding again. Gilkes. couldn't keep it in play. It's a goal kick. Looking again at the Reading chairman, as we did just now, I don't know whether you know it, David, he actually walked to Wembley from Reading. It was all a part of a charity thing, a challenge that he took up. Nearly 50 miles, children in need, John Wdowczyk, so well done for that.
When he entered the stadium, the Reading chairman, he said one or two remarks about Jack Walker and about money buying success, and that he's not going to do it at Reading. But when he entered the stadium on the end of that walk today, I saw him come in his tracksuit with his other walkers. He got massive applause from the Reading fans. So.
Phillips with a throw. Thompson just kept it in play, knocked away almost nonchalantly there by Wdowczyk. Stubbs playing it in again towards Paatelainen, goal kick. Clock goes on, it's about 6.5 minutes left. Yes, it's difficult moments this for the managers, I must say. For the players, for the fans, for everybody really. 6 minutes, what will they hold for these two sides? Will it be Reading who go into the Premiership? Jimmy Quinn, there's a foul by Quinn, it's a free kick. With a ground that's only got something like 2,500 seats, capacity of 13,000. That'll bring its problems next season for them, and with 10 players who are out of contract, as I understand it, at the end of this season, that will also certainly bring them problems, David.
And they make a trading loss every year of about 500,000, which is probably similar to many, many Ensley clubs.
But Bolton need this goal if they're going to prevent Reading getting into the Premiership.
I can't see Reading now really getting one on the break either. I think they know what they have to do, and they're just going to play in their half and defend. Quinn will have no support up front, whereas Lovell and Nogan were lively front players for so much of the game. Now it's Jimmy Quinn on his own, hoping to get the ball up there, but everyone else is really working hard to stop the tide of Bolton attacks.
Quinn can't hold up Green. But that was fortuitous for Reading. And Adrian Williams plays the ball into Gooding, knocks the forward. Now this is a break is on here. Scott Taylor, no foul. He made just a little too much of that. Coyle can bring it away. McAteer. Knocked back again. Paatelainen thought that Thompson was a little closer to hand than that. Inside the last 5 minutes. And Reading hold on and go for those golden horizons in the Premiership. Oh, that was a lovely dummy there by Gooding, and he's found Lovell in a lot of space, and Hopkins has gone tearing down the right for him. Lovell, almost got that into a shooting position. And McAteer just held him up. Gooding couldn't get there, and away come Bolton again, led once again by their captain Stubbs. Not gone this time to Thompson. There are plenty up, including to Freitas. It's there! Bolton have saved themselves. With Fabian de Freitas' goal, it's 2-2. They claimed offside, Reading, or they were looking for offside. But he shook off the challenge, beat Hislop, and now we promised you twists and turns we've certainly had.
Well, I have to say he took that really well. There was only inches to shoot in across Hislop's body. A lovely pass by Thompson, well weighted. But it all came about because Reading wasted a ball so badly in an attacking situation.
Bolton Wanderers 2, Reading 2, with about 3 minutes left. Paatelainen chasing, but Hislop there. Wdowczyk hits it long towards Lovell, and Stubbs made a mistake there, and in the end Reading get a corner. And looking at Lovell there, you just wonder also how he must be feeling with that missed penalty and the chance just after it. Stuart Lovell, that would have killed the game off, and that's saved by Branagan. In fact, could well have been the turning point. Here comes Reading's corner though, knocked away by Bergsson, but straight back to the Reading player. Crossed in again, and a good save by Branagan, that time from Williams. What a finish this is.
Now, 5 minutes ago it looked like a fairy tale for Reading, now it's a real drama. And as I said before the game, they're inseparable, you know, except I feel Bolton have got more steam in them. They've got more drive in them, and they're the ones that are coming from behind, and I would feel they've got the greater inner strength at the moment to go on and take this game.
Up goes Williams. It's a foul by Williams on Paatelainen. Another free kick to Bolton. Coming towards the last minute of 90 minutes. There's a provision, of course, for extra time and for a penalty shootout. Stubbs hammering the ball into the Reading wall. Stubbs again. Goal kick. For so long, Reading have almost been reaching out for that Premiership timetable, the fixture list. And now it's a different game altogether. Fabian de Freitas, signed from Holland, Dutch under-21 international. That incidentally was only de Freitas' third goal for Bolton.
I think if it's important enough to get them into extra time and to get them a winner, it's certainly repaid the £400,000 or whatever it was they paid for him.
A record fee. Coyle, who scored the first. Williams, who bangs it away, who scored the second for Reading. Branagan, a long way out. And Reading's throw. Time added on. Adrian Williams. Osborn. Jimmy Quinn. Gilkes. Quinn. Back to Gooding. Gilkes again. The last seconds. Gilkes with a cross, a deep one there towards Hopkins, nodded it down, goal kick.
That was good play by the two wing-backs, as you call them, Brian. Gilkes getting to the byline, chipping beyond everyone, and then Hopkins coming in, but not making the most of the header. But at least now Reading will come out and play. I felt that at that period of time they were their own worst enemies. They started just whacking it instead of keeping possession and working up the field as a group. They sat too deep, they invited problems, and they got problems.
McGinlay now on the far side. Paatelainen's in the middle. De Freitas is in there too, but so too was Williams. Gooding going for this one. Thompson tied us up. Stubbs. Free kick to Bolton Wanderers. The foul on Paatelainen by Wdowczyk. Played nearly 2 minutes of time added on. Stubbs and Thompson behind this one. Thompson's drive! My goodness, I thought that was going banging into the corner there.
Well, they've got a couple with rocket feet. They've got Thompson and Stubbs who fancies his chances with right footers. That's it.
That's 90 minutes up. We go into extra time. We have a break. You'll not miss a moment of that extra time.
Welcome back to Wembley, where we have huge drama. Bolton have come back from 2 down. Really dramatic stuff for Ron Atkinson, isn't it?
Tremendous. I mean, they've driven the game since half-time, and all credit to them. I mean, they threatened. We always thought if they could score one, they could equalise, and that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, Reading may look back on so many missed chances, including that penalty miss.
Yeah, I mean, the unfortunate thing is if Reading don't go through now, the lad Lovell may go down in history as the guy that cost them the Premiership, but that's very, very unfair.
How do you see it now, Ron? They've got 30 minutes of extra time. Obviously, it's gone towards Bolton's favour, hasn't it, at this moment?
Yeah, psychologically they're up, but I think Reading can come again. I think Reading deliberately sat back. I think they try to contain and hold that lead. I think they can come again.
OK, well, back we go. 30 minutes of extra time. Back to Brian.
Well, it's Reading who'll get this first period of extra time underway, and away we go. Osborn making the little break. Phillips to Stubbs. Forward now to Paatelainen. Thompson. Phillips. Paatelainen again. Coyle. No foul. Quinn can bring it away. Osborn. Hopkins deflected a little bit. Taylor. Well, the Reading fans were urging him to shoot, but it just wasn't the opening. Hopkins playing it in. McAteer. And now McGinlay. Hopkins gets back quickly. Does well. Under a lot of pressure from Coyle, but sticks to his job. That's a few kicks being aimed there one way or another, and in the end a free kick to Reading. Quinn now playing it back again to Hopkins. Reading. Quinn struck it straight at the player there, and it was Lovell with a shot that was well taken and also well saved.
See Jimmy Quinn here turn. That's Jimmy Quinn's hallmark, turning on the edge of the box and hitting the ball with either foot.
Up goes to Freitas. That time beaten in the air by Keith McPherson. McGinlay with the throw. It's down now to mental stability and supreme physical fitness as Thompson plays it there. Hopkins allows it to go for the goal kick.
It probably might benefit Reading by the break at the end of full time, the fact that they can get their thoughts together and decide the policy more. They were sitting too deep. I'm sure that Gooding and Quinn will have said to them, look, we've got to push out a little bit, we are sitting too deep, we're not getting enough attack level. And I think they might benefit from that.
I think that's the great thing about Bolton's play today after that atrocious start, that they got their thoughts together so well, David.
Absolutely, they came out so positive in the second period.
But here's Taylor. Oh, and it might come for Gooding. Cross behind, goal kick.
There's sometimes 2-0 scoreline, an advantage of 2 clear goals may attract complacency in a team, whereas a 1-goal margin at half-time sometimes makes the team more alert and brighter. And they don't have any mental thoughts that we've got the game, we're safe. It's never safe.
Stubbs. I think when they had to take Nogan off was probably one of the turning points as well, because they had to change everything around then with just the one man, Jimmy Quinn, up. And they were forced back to defend much more than they wanted to, possibly. Here's Lovell. Wdowczyk shielded himself beautifully. Oh, and a nice play there by Quinn. But Taylor just showed too much of that to Owen Coyle. Up to the Freitas. Not wide for McGinlay. Still on this right flank. Laid it back for Green. Wdowczyk first to it. McGinlay with the Freitas. Sounds as though I'm banging the drum for the NZ League, but certainly this has been a credit to the NZ League today. I think it's been quality stuff, thoughtful play, good technique, and certainly more than enough excitement to satisfy us all. This is good play here by the Freitas. Going to get a shot in if they don't hold him up. Coyle on the far side, the cross coming in towards Paatelainen, just a little too long for him. Back in again towards the Freitas once more. Coyle, Phillips has gone down the flank for him. Here's Phillips, that's a good bit of play by Bolton. Now what sort of cross can he find here for Thompson? No, just knocked off his head. Green with a shot, hits it straight at Hopkins, plays it forward to Quinn, and now for Gooding. Osborn. Here's Stubbs again. Hasn't quite been the commanding figure today, has he, Alan Stubbs? Here's Taylor.
Oh, he's got a position here to shoot, and Branagan once again pulls out an excellent save.
That was a fine stop. You always feel that when Scott Taylor gets forward, he can go past people, and if he gets anywhere near that box, there's danger for Bolton.
Reading have started to play as they did in the first half now. Playing it around a little bit, much more positive than they were once Nogan went off, and they looked there just to defend. Here's a nice passing movement, but Taylor losing it, and Green finding McGinlay, back to Green again, and now McAteer. Driving run here by Jason McAteer, stopped though by Adrian Williams. McAteer, McGinlay, Freitas again at the far side. Paatelainen's there too, but Shaka Hislop doing his work for Reading. And at the other end, Taylor doing so well, getting round Bergsson, and Branagan saved.
Bergsson did well actually, just drove him wide enough.
Bolton throw. Well, there's stability on the bench for Bolton as well as on the field. Bruce Rioch and Colin Todd done their work really well. Phillips, halfway through the first period of extra time. What we're also facing, of course, is the possibility of a penalty shootout to decide who goes into the Premiership. McAteer, Phillips, to Freitas. Oh, that was a nice little dummy. Bought himself a half yard, but then couldn't find a shot nearly enough power to worry Hislop.
So it was a tired effort, and I think there's some tired legs now, which we expect, of course. It must be particularly difficult for Mick Gooding. He's done really well. He's the captain. He must have all sorts of things on his mind. He's the manager. And Jimmy Quinn, it's not so bad for. He's just had probably 20 minutes at full time and now 30 minutes here. But that man on the ball now, the oldest man on the field.
He's a tough Geordie though, and he's had a little kick out there actually as we were talking at Jason McAteer. That's a lovely ball played by Osborn for Taylor. What a beautifully weighted ball it was by the Reading number 3. Paatelainen being chased by Williams, no chances taken there.
Well, the Reading supporters, they were dwelled up in half-time by a couple of players to cheer and get behind the team, or they've gone a little bit quiet in the last 15 minutes as Bolton surged back. But at the moment, I just feel that Reading have begun to revive themselves and play a little bit more the way they're good at, and a little bit more composed and a little bit more passing and a little bit more slower game.
It's back with Goodney Bergsson. Alan Thompson and his career at Newcastle. So Reading ball came off Jimmy Quinn, or at least Jimmy Quinn made sure it came off McGinlay. Stubbs hits a long ball towards the Freitas. Green now for Bolton. To Paatelainen. Scott Green, who used to be a forward, in fact, in his Derby County days. Mick Gooding. Back it goes. Branagan, oh my goodness, he wants to get away with that before Lovell comes challenging him. Paatelainen. Space over here now for McAteer. Paatelainen's gone through the middle, De Freitas is in there too. Oh, just wide of the goal from Fabian De Freitas.
That would have been a terrific goal. He got across the face there of McPherson so well to meet that early ball by McAteer. Just watch the way he stopped and then went quickly. Just got half a yard, and that was good striking.
Wdowczyk. Hislop gets it forward towards Lovell. Osborn. Gilkes.
Jimmy Quinn's on the far side. He's made a good run. He just got his head to it. And Scott Taylor and Mick Gooding getting in each other's way a bit there.
And Bolton will bring it out again. Jason McAteer up to Paatelainen. McAteer full of running, as David was saying earlier. He's got a terrific engine on him, a wonderful pair of lungs. Thompson.
Oh, there might be a chance opening up here.
Wdowczyk does well. Thompson's not finished yet though.
Oh, there's a bit of shirt pulling here, and right in front of the referee actually.
The referee couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 yards away, and Thompson feels very aggrieved indeed.
And I think we've got another possible hamstring victim. I wouldn't think that's cramp, although it looks as though he's clutching his calf more than it. No, maybe cramp. Well, if it is, it's not so bad, but that's more important. He was definitely being held.
That was a penalty, you know.
I just can't quite understand that decision of Mr. Folkes, or whether he thought initially there was a little bit of pulling by Thompson to get past him, but two wrongs don't make a right.
Michael Gilkes also suffering from cramp.
This is where I feel the competition gets so unfair. You know, when they've slogged it out, not only the league games, they've gone to 90 minutes, now extra time. If it's still level, the drama becomes a thriller, and it all happens on the strength of 1 or 2 kicks, and I always feel that is a cruel way to finish a game. Here we see that incident again, eh?
Yeah, the first contact was outside, but it was certainly a free kick to Bolton Wanderers. Won't play until John McGinlay lets us have the ball back. In the meantime, Michael Gilkes actually is getting some treatment. I think I'm right in saying a play-off for the Premiership has never been decided on the penalty shootout before. McGinlay sportingly throws the ball back to Hislop.
I think we've had had 6 playoff finals altogether, starting with Swindon playing in a superb game which I saw.
Oh, nodded back there. Here's Phillips. Up to the Freitas. Keep looking for turning points in this game. The departure of Nogan and the arrival of de Freitas, I think, probably are 2 of them. The save by the goalkeeper from the penalty is another one. Coming towards the last seconds of the first period of extra time now, with the score still at 2-2. Jimmy Quinn knocked on again for Scott Taylor. McGinlay, McAteer, Paatelainen. This looks good. Thompson, McAteer. Oh, he's done well here. He's gone past Wdowczyk, still with Jason McAteer. A long run, and then a little back heel for Coyle to knock it in towards McGinlay. Paatelainen's in there too. Paatelainen with the goal that puts Bolton ahead at the end of the first period of extra time. And from 2 goals down in 12 minutes, Bolton now find themselves 3-2 ahead. Great run by McAteer, a terrific run. Crafty little back heel, played in nicely by the fullback Phillips, and finally finished off there by Paatelainen.
Well, I think McAteer on that run showed all the ability and class which is supposedly sent the Premiership clubs to Burnham Park to watch him. It was a marvellous run, a little bit of clever skill at the end of it, and then a terrific cross and a double header.
Lovell with the shots. It's a fantastic comeback, you know, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely tremendous.
After 12 minutes, they look down and out. And this is the run by McAteer. Great piece of play. And then the back heel at the end of it. And a great cross by Phillips. And then McGinlay just knocks it back across the goal. And there's Paatelainen. His 15th goal of the season. And that's the end of the first period of extra time.
And could that be the final twist, Brian? They're so tired now. Any twist that happens now could be decisive.
Don't bank on it, because they're so tired. There could well be more twists. You think it's going Bolton's way now, Ron?
I think what we've seen in extra time is the emergence of McAteer. I mean, he'd made several of those runs that created the goal in extra time. Hadn't been in the game an awful lot in the normal period. And obviously you're going to have to say it is going Bolton's way.
So McAteer's made the difference. That really was, David Peake, an absolutely brilliant run of his, and the back heel at the end of it, perfectly for Phillips. Now let's see, 15 minutes left. Stopped by Hopkins. Taylor. Osborn. Jimmy Quinn on the far side.
There's no better volleyer than Jimmy Quinn. Both feet. I mean, that was a perfect ball. He knew he didn't quite have the angle to shoot. He pulls away so brilliantly. Terrific ball. Almost an invitation to score.
And Gooding was only a matter of a yard or two away from a formal tap-in.
It'll be fascinating now to see the mentality of Bolton. Will they still try and go forward, or will they, who take their lead for the first time, sit back as Reading did in the second half, and in the end it cost them?
Osborn tries to get the ball through to Quinn. The figure of Alan Stubbs emerging with the ball and finds John McGinlay down the line again, but it came off Wdowczyk. Well, he came fairly late to the game, did John Majeski, and he's seen enough twists and turns for a lifetime here today. His Reading side look to be on their way to the Premiership, and now the odds truly favouring Bruce Rioch and his team.
To say nothing, of course, of a match that is surrounded by all sorts of speculation about whether players or managers will stay, whatever the results. The speculation about Bruce Rioch's future, but his one concern this afternoon is to get Bolton into the Premiership. And to that end, they are 13 minutes away from that goal. Hopkins keeps it in play for Reading. Gilkes does well. Gooding.
Towards Jimmy Quinn. This is interesting. And Quinn thought that should have been a penalty. Bergsson goes to him. There's some headbutting going on there, or apparently some headbutting going on there, and that's very unpleasant indeed. Quinn clearly felt that he should have had a penalty. I'm not sure that he should. But he and Bergsson then confronted each other.
Well, it all started with Jimmy he pulled away once again brilliantly down the middle. He tried to take a cushion header. And at that second, if he could have just lofted the ball, he would have beaten Branagan. Branagan had come to eight yards out of his goal, and he just needed a touch over his head. And Jimmy Quinn tried to cushion it down. There's certainly no foul.
Yeah, that's when there was all sorts of nonsense there between Quinn and Bergsson. Gooding. This is Osborn. Well, they finally kept possession in the most unorthodox way, and then they get the ball through to Gilkes. I wonder if they'll push him further forward now.
I think Gilkes is really struggling.
It's to Freitas now, he's not struggling. And it was Hopkins who got back. Gooding's lost it here. Coyle takes it up. De Freitas waiting in the middle. Paatelainen in there too. Bolton 3, Reading 2. 4 minutes of the second period of extra time have gone by. Stuart Lovell. Wdowczyk. Wide for Scott Taylor. I don't think Hopkins will get that one in. He does. Might have gone anywhere. Taylor tries to keep it going, and his sheer strength kept that one going. The little chip by him towards Jimmy Quinn, and it still won't go for Quinn.
Reading are really coming forward now. They've got nothing to lose.
They get a corner. Osborn with it. Everybody forward, including Wdowczyk, including Hopkins. Quinn might well be the target. Williams will also be a target. It's driven there towards Williams and Quinn, but over the head of both of them, goal kick. Problems for Alan Stubbs, but not for long. 10 minutes left. Kick to Bolton.
They've really gone to an orthodox back four now of Reading in this last stage of the game, with Gilkes gone into the centre of midfield really. He's a real passenger. He's got this problem. I think it was cramp.
Stubbs with a kick towards De Freitas. McPherson battling with him. De Freitas gets it back to Coyle. Jink can find a little bit of space where he jinked. In the end, found nothing except that Reading get it away to Gilkes. And now to Osborn. And now here's McAteer. But the whistle has gone for a free kick to Reading. Falls now for Thompson. Phillips. Osborn. Quinn. Wdowczyk into Jimmy Quinn. Ball falls loose for Thompson. Seven and a half minutes remaining of extra time.
Bolton now keeping the shape at the back. There'll be no crazy forward runs by either of the fullbacks now. It was Green and Phillips who began to get forward, who I thought slightly changed the game in the first half, towards the end of the first half.
Paatelainen towards McGinlay, just too high. And away comes Wdowczyk. Cheered on by the Reading fans now. Finding Osborn. Long towards Stuart Lovell. There's a formidable look about that Bolton defence at the moment. They're back in numbers, David.
Yeah, they're back there in the back four all together now. Taylor's gone wideish right.
Offside against Quinn.
Bolton will get it at the back and they'll hit it forward. They've got the pace, you see. They've got the pace of the Freitas to go chasing things. They can hit one or two over the top and turn those hoop shirts. That's what they need to do.
Stubbs with the free kick. Paatelainen, whose third goal might well take Bolton into the Premiership. He's lost out in the corner flag battle there, and there's a bit of ball going on there. Hopkins involved on Paatelainen. Gooding. Osborn. Oh, given away there. Green. McAteer chasing, Lovell getting back with him. Oh, and McAteer with a chance to make it save. Another one, good save to Freitas. And Hislop there. The mistake was Lovell's, in fact, on the far side, lost out to McAteer. McAteer played the ball back. So here come Reading again. Osborn well forward. But McGinlay can take it up again now for Bolton Wanderers. To Freitas, jockeying just to stay on position, stay on the side rather. Looks to be holding off Williams. But the whistle will go on, way back. Free kick.
I think Reading are the tighter of the two sides, possibly reflected in the fact that they're trailing. They've got very little to give, I feel. It's almost walking pace.
For Freitas. It's a Bolton throw. Inside the last 5 minutes. Paatelainen, McGinlay. They've kept it in play, and here come Reading again now. Bit of space for them possibly. There's certainly a lot of white shirts are forward now. Can Gilkes do something about it? He looks really to be struggling. Osborn. Played for Quinn. Spreading it wide here for Hopkins. But he had trouble keeping it in play, but he's battled to get it back again. Now finds Osborn. And straight through to Branagan.
When you get tired, you lose your accuracy. Osborn, who started so brightly in that first period, they dominated midfield. Taylor, Gooding, Osborn. As the game's gone on, it's got more difficult for them. Bolton have had the legs, they've had the strength, they've had a little bit more power. It's been a real spectacular end to the season.
McAteer to Freitas. McGinlay. Still to Freitas. Just almost lazily in there, not a single Bolton player in the Reading penalty area. They're plenty getting back now as Hislop hits it long towards Jimmy Quinn. Knocks it on, turned away by Scott Green. Banged away that time by Scott Green. Up towards the Freitas again.
Poor old McPherson at the back, he's walking wounded too, and he's going to referee might stop the game and get the trainer on for him, I don't know. No, he's not.
Paatelainen. Gilkes, who can hardly move as well. Taylor, who's done plenty of moving all afternoon. Quinn moving out, losing out. Bergsson playing it down now for Paatelainen. Bolton Wanderers then 2 minutes away from the Premiership as we stand at the moment, having brought about one of the great comebacks of the season. Paatelainen. There's the cross to Freitas. Now it's safe. Bolton go into the Premiership with that second goal by De Freitas, and their fourth of the game. 4-2. They can't be caught now.
Well, if you look at Branagan
At the other end there knows what that means. What an amazing afternoon of football it's turned out to be. 2 down in 12 minutes and really labouring, and they've come back, and with that goal there by Fabian De Freitas, his second of the game, talk about super sub, that has without doubt pushed Bolton Wanderers back into the Premiership.
Right, that's quite incredible. Recent history would suggest that Bolton are better equipped probably to go into the Premiership, but you have to feel sorry a little bit for Reading, who are absolutely exhausted. They've died on their feet in this extra time. They haven't been able to maintain it. They started so promisingly, and it was Branagan there who was spread-eagled. Must have been kissing the ground, because when he faced that penalty at 2-0, Brian, we always thought that was curtains.
And it would have been too. There was no way back from 3. Thompson. Let me ask you, David, what sort of Premiership side will Bolton be?
Well, I think it's very difficult to tell, because a lot will depend on how loyal the players are, how much they're prepared to continue the challenge as a group.
There's a chance here. It's a goal by Jimmy Quinn. Reading are back into the 4-3, but we are now adding time at the end of extra time. The 7th goal of the afternoon. What an astonishing afternoon. Now Bolton know they've only got to keep possession now for the last few seconds. It's back to Branagan. Bang clear by him. Referee looked at the watch. Can they get it forward once again? Gilkes, one last big effort. No, the free kick's given Bolton's way. What an amazing afternoon.
7 goals. Well, I think the Ensley people will be very pleased to be associated with the league this season. I think it's been a tremendous finish for them. They deserve it really for supporting the 3 divisions of the Football League, the breeding ground for the Premiership.
Just a few seconds away. Referee's had another look at the watch. That's it. Bolton Wanderers go into the Premiership as a result of an absolute extravaganza of football here this afternoon at Wembley. 2 down in 12 minutes, 4-2 up, then 4-3, and Reading, who for so long on this sunlit afternoon looked as though they were heading for the golden horizons, just abject disappointment at the end of a season
that has been absolutely brilliant for them. Everybody thought the bubble must burst sometime, but it's burst only at Wembley. It's Bolton who go through. Let's have a word with Bruce Rioch.
Bruce, congratulations. What a hard way to get in the Premiership.
Well, we said we needed a goal, didn't we?
Yes, you said you asked them for a goal and you got 4.
Penalty save. I mean, the game's almost dead at 2. Penalty makes it 3. That's a game over, possibly. 2-0 is not the best scorelines all the time. It's a good scoreline here. But we always, again, you get a goal, you got a chance. And they've done fantastic. They've just done
The
brilliant.
emotion and stress for someone in your shoes must be horrendous. But at the end, you've done it and you're in the Premiership. Will you be with Bolton next season? Well done.
Well, that, of course,
Well, we've seen a quite extraordinary playoff final here at Wembley. Bolton 2 down have come back to win 4-3 in the end. 7 goals, Ron. Extraordinary, really, wasn't it?
Incredible. You wonder what would have happened if it had gone on for a few more minutes.
Yeah.
But all credit, they were the stronger side. It's from half-time onwards, whether or not Reading settled for that, or whether they genuinely got tired and they drove the game. But I think just about at the end they were worthy winners.
Bolton Football Club were on the end of the wrong end of a very famous comeback in the 1953 Cup final, weren't they? But it's gone their way today.
Yeah, exactly the same scoreline.
Exactly the same, Ron.
Yeah, but it's gone the other way around, hasn't it? And just, we were saying at half-time when we were looking at Nat, I wonder if his thoughts went back to that game, that Lofthouse.
It's a wonderful time for Bruce Rioch and Bolton. I wonder if we can see Nat Lofthouse here. He's in that box up there. There he is, just look at him. What a wonderful, the old Lion of Vienna.
Yeah, and very much, I tell you, he's one of life's greats. As a bloke, as a player, he's an all-time player. But I mean, you look at him now, he looks exactly the same as when he used to terrorise defenders.
That's the playoff trophy. Alan Stubbs collecting it. And no doubt Bolton really going into the Premiership with Middlesbrough, 2 classy sides.
Yeah, well equipped. I mean, they've been there before. They've both been there before. You know, they know what it's about. They can get support. You know, you wonder what would have happened if Reading could have gone there.
Branagan, the goalkeeper, Ron, what a crucial penalty save that is in hindsight.
Very much so. I mean, you didn't even at that stage of the game. If that had gone in, all right, they've come back and scored 4. They wouldn't have scored 4.
We must give a word, such a really an honourable word to Reading, because they're such a classy side as well.
They played smashing today. They've played smashing every time I've seen them. I've never seen a team on the field after the game be so disappointed. You could sense it. They're out on the feet. They've had a long old season, and to go and to get beat the way they've got beat, it's cruel for them.
Will Bruce Rioch stay at Bolton, Ron? I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, if Gary Newbon can't find out, I don't think anybody can. If I was a betting man, I'd say no.
Well, we can now, I think, go down to Fabian de Freitas, who's with Gary.
De Freitas, congratulations. Super sub. You come on at half-time and scored 2 vital goals.
Well, thank you very much. I did my best, and it happened. It took me a long time to get used to the English game, but now, well, I just play my own game, and it seems that works best.
Actually, you've taken part in one of the great playoffs of all time.
Well, I did my best.
Well done.
Cheers.
Now then, Bolton there just going on the lap of honour. You really feel so much for those Reading boys. I just feel so sympathetic towards them, Ron.
Yeah. What they can say, they can always look back on it and say, at least they took part in one of the great games of this type. I mean, they played their part. First half, they were phenomenal. They gave a great display. I don't think they ran out of steam, actually, in the first half. There is the man. He'll have a good night tonight and thoroughly deserves it.
He is the president of Bolton, and it's really, after all their efforts against the first division, Premiership sides, in the Cup as well, you know, they almost deserve it, don't they?
They do, in fact. And I think I'm right in saying that might be the first time Bruce has had a good result at Wembley. He's been very unfortunate as far as Wembley's concerned. We saw it in the Coca-Cola. He got the sack just before they were in the automotive, whatever it was, with Middlesbrough.
Right. Ron, thanks for being with us. Let me just tidy up the last of our season's competitions. It was Southampton, not Wolves, who sold Tim Flowers to Blackburn. The winner, David Williams from Beaconsfield, who wins a VIP trip to one of our Champions League games on ITV next season. As for today, well, these are the 2 goals which completed Bolton's amazing comeback. Mikko Paatelainen's header made it 3-2 to Bolton. Here it comes. And then the superstar 2-goal hero, Fabian de Freitas, hooking in the one which made it 4-2 before Reading made it finally 4-3. After an absence of 15 years, Bolton are back in the Premiership.